just wonder as well, do you feel the luck's not quite with you at the moment when you look at Firmino's chance that meet players? And if it's more than that, then what do you feel was missing tonight?
Oh, no, it's not the luckiest period of our lives, for sure not. But I think it would be cheap. Would be a bit cheap to put in all in on that we have not enough luck or in a specific moments. No, I think our problem is the decision making in the moment, and decisions are based on informations I give, obviously, and the mood you are in. So how confident you are to do it in really small spaces and stuff like this. So, and that's why I said what I said, and that's the reason why we didn't score in these moments. I don't think when we won games, everyone knows that it's not cool to mention it now, but we won games with lesser possession against Burnley, with lesser chances against Burnley, and all this kind of. We won them. Tonight we didn't win them because we didn't score the situations. And when I look at the game back now, and when I think about it, and all the interviews, I had enough time now to think a little bit about. I think, how is it possible that you lose that game? But we lost it. We made even that happen, and that's and that means my fault.
When you look at the games to come now, you must feel, though, still that this is a side that's capable of putting a run together that can thrust themselves right back into the title race now.
Look, it's just not. How silly would that be? If I sit now here losing against Burnley, this game didn't score for the last 3-4 games, I don't know exactly. And now I talk about a title race. How silly would that be? So it's just we have to win football games. It was always like this. And for this, we have to score goals. There's no doubt about it. And that's what we have to change and have to do better. If things don't work, you have to work harder to do the right things more often, longer, more consistent, all these kind of things. But not talking like it's easy race. It's not. It shows a lot of things. It shows how it's incredible how good the boys and how consistent the boys were. But that was never something what anybody should have taken for granted. Because now we see they're all human beings. That's how it is. And now I have to make clearer what we have to do in the right moments, and then we will score goals again.
Dom King and then Dave Maddock.
Given the run that you've been on over the last 3 years, where it's been win after win after win and so many good times, this is obviously the first sort of blip that they've had. So how do you get the belief back into them? Because it seems
not telling you now any wonder things or whatever. That's the job a manager and coach has to do. And it's not, I'm not the first one who has that situation. I will not be the last one. But it's not helping. If I tell you now, what I will tell the boys and stuff like this. And anyway, about this specific game, I first have to think about, because after the game I just did interviews. But it's still not rocket science. But it didn't work out again tonight. It's not the first game that it didn't work out. It didn't work out for 2, 3, 4 games or whatever. So that's what we take. It's not about a performance. So it's decisive moments. We have to get better in the decisive moments again. We have to become ourselves again in the decisive moment, not in the build-up. That's all good. And these kind of things, how we do different things. In the last third, in the last moment, decision-making is in the moment, not how it should be. So, and now everybody will talk about it. But it's not nice. That makes the problem not smaller. It makes it rather bigger. And we still have to change it. That's what we will do.
And forgive me, I haven't seen any of your other interviews yet. There was an incident with you and Sean Dyche at half-time. Could you tell us what happened there? Or
what I said on television was that, and it's exactly the same. If he doesn't speak about it, I will not speak about it. All good.
Thank you, Dom. Dave Maddock.
Jurgen, you said you didn't want to talk about confidence because of the obvious headlines, but it appears that the confidence is a little damaged at the moment. So would you actually agree with that assessment? And also, is there any chance of you addressing that in the transfer market, because the window is still open? So, I mean, that would be an obvious solution. Is there any chance of that?
These decisions are not mine decisions. If somebody thinks, well, you should do something, so I cannot decide if you do something in the transfer market or not. So that must be clear. But that's not something I'm thinking about. Everybody, it's just we can do with this group, we can play much better football. That's my concern. That's what I'm thinking about. And that confidence is not on the highest level. I think that's so obvious that I don't have to mention it. You can see it in specific moments. Again, a lot of It's like 90% of all what the boys did all the time is still there. But the decisive 10% are in the moment missing. So now we have to work on these decisive 10%. And that's how it is. We worked always on them, but now we have to dig a little bit deeper to get them back.
Okay, final question, Carl Markham.
Hi, Jurgen. You said earlier at the start that the decision-making in the final third is down to the information you're giving the players. What has changed? Don't really tell me what you've told them, but what has changed to change the way they react in that third then?
No. It's not about. It's not. They have the right information. They get the right information. It's in the end. It's of course about. And I mean, I say it's my fault and say I was maybe not convincing enough. So or could not give enough confidence. That's my job as well. I cannot say that we are not confident enough and then say I don't know why that happened. So that's how I understand the job. So it's about crossing the right moment, passing the right moment, and all these kind of things. It's not we gave the wrong information, but you need to be in the right mood to use them. You have to be brave in between the lines. You have to turn in between the lines. You have to pass the ball. You have to get it in between lines, and then you pass in behind the line, and then the fullback is coming from outside and is there and cross the ball. And it's not, again, that's not rocket science, but obviously it was not. It didn't happen tonight, and that's, I think, how I understand it for myself, and that's the only thing what's important for me in this case. That's my fault.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Just Sean Dyche is coming in now, so I think